From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Get big savings close to home with Northway Bank's Community Sense digital coupon book. Filled with valuable money-saving coupons from hundreds of Northway Bank business customers. Visit northwaybank.com for more info. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Conway police say a judge has set bail of $10,000 cash for a 41-year-old former North Carolina man accused of committing identity fraud to get medical treatment. Lieutenant Chris Purley says officers responded to Memorial Hospital in North Conway late Thursday morning after getting a report of a man there was apparently committing fraud, and after a brief chase they caught up with John Hartford Bartlack, formerly of Roland, North Carolina. Purley says the investigation shows Bartlack is on parole after being recently released from prison in North Carolina and was living with family members in Brownfield, Maine. Police allege that most recently he committed identity fraud 3 times over a period of about a week and a half. Here's Purley.
We are alleging that he used false names and personal identification information in order to obtain either medical services or narcotics from the hospital. Our allegations include that he used a fictitious story regarding his treatment, as well as untraceable and fictitious personal information in order to obtain those services.
Bartlack is charged with 3 counts of identity fraud, each count a Class A felony, punishable by up to 15 years in the New Hampshire State Prison. Purley says in this day and age, criminal activity is not just conducted in pawn shops, banks, and mom-and-pop stores, but
creative criminals oftentimes will use every resource they have to defraud legitimate businesses of either their services or their goods. Hospitals and pharmacies are particularly vulnerable because of the high demand by drug users for narcotics.
Bartlack is due back in court next week. A 9-member commission charged with making a recommendation on whether to expand Medicaid in New Hampshire continues to gather information. The commission, which must write a report to lawmakers by October 15th, is meeting today to hear from a group of national experts. The Democratic House and Governor Maggie Hassan, a Democrat, want to authorize the expansion to an estimated 49,000 poor adults under the federal health care overhaul law. The Republican-led Senate insisted on establishing a commission to study the potential impact and possible options other than enrolling the adults into the existing Medicaid program. In Maine news, U.S. Senator Susan Collins has honored the Lewiston Fire Department for its actions during a string of arson fires this spring. The Republican senator from Maine recently visited the department to present Chief Paul LeClaire with a copy of the statement she read in Congress commending the firefighters. She also gave the department a flag that had flown above the U.S. Capitol. 3 major fires in 1 week in Lewiston in May destroyed 9 apartment buildings, damaged others, left more than 180 people homeless, and led to a crackdown on abandoned and neglected apartment houses in the former Mill City. In sports, a nonprofit that supports adaptive athletes says it's close to its goal of raising nearly $63,000 after 6 teams started at the base of Mount Washington early Sunday morning and reached the summit about 4 hours later. Organizers of the Sunrise Ascent say more than 100 mules, volunteers to assist the athletes by pushing or pulling a hiking chair or providing support, helped half a dozen athletes hike the 6,288 feet to the summit. The Houston Astros beat the Red Sox 2-0 last night, and Sox outfielder Shane Victorino has been named the American League Player of the Week. In the weather, mostly sunny today, highs in the mid-70s, upper 70s in southern Carroll County with light winds. Becoming mostly clear tonight, lows around 50, lower 50s in southern Carroll County, and partly sunny on Wednesday, highs in the upper 70s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.